Kumusta mga Exile? Gilmores here. Welcome to another my budget build guide. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about my Scourge Arrow Assassin. And before I begin my guide, I just wanna mention a good and a bad side about this build. So the bad side about this build is, as you can see, when I charge my Scourge Arrow, I can spawn up to 5 spores, which shoots poison arrow. And if my arrow hits a wall or a statue, for example, even if I charge it with 5 charges, as you can see, it will spawn less spores, which will deal less damage. So yeah, I really don't like that about this build. So just make sure when you shoot your arrow, it's not gonna hit any wall or something. And a really good thing about this build is, for of all the poison build that I have ever made, Scourge Arrow deal the most poison damage. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's just begin our guide. So first, I'm gonna talk about my unique items. First is this Sliver Tongue Harbinger Bow, which gives you a good amount of physical damage. And since Scourge Arrow pierce all the time, this bow will give you a 50% crit multiplier. And as you can see here, I'm using a bow with 28% quality. And for this, you're gonna need to keep running maps using June. So your map will have syndicates, and you need to make sure that Hillock is in transportation, and Hillock must have 3 stars. So when you run the safe house, you will be able to craft your bow with 28% quality. And another unique item is this Embalmer's Carnal Mitts, which gives you some chaos damage and increased poison duration. And another unique item is this Wind Scream, which you can apply an additional curse. And lastly is this High Risk Shoot Jade Amulet, which will give you a level 22 precision skill. And I anointed this amulet with Corruption, which will give you increased damage over time, chaos damage over time multiplier, and increased chaos damage. And for this, you're gonna need 1 crimson oil and 2 black oils. And also I'm using this drill neck quiver, which it says here, arrow deal 50% increased damage with hits and ailments to targets that they pierce. And for the rare items, they're just basic life and resist, and also try to get some intelligence and strength in your rare items for your gem requirements. And for the flask, I'm using quartz flask for 10% chance to dodge attack and spell hits, jade flask for more evasion, a silver flask for increased damage, and Catalytus signature diamond flask for more crit and will grant you a perfect agony, which basically gives you lots of poison damage. And for the gem setups, on my body armor, I'm using Scourge Arrow with infused channeling, vicious projectiles, vile toxins, deadly ailments, and unbound ailments. And on my helmet, I'm using Herald of Agony, cast when damage is taken with Summon Lightning Golem and Skitterbots. On my bow, I'm using Poke Mine, Vow Haste, Vow Blight, and increased duration. On my gloves, I'm using Bane with Temporal Chains, Despair, and increased duration. And lastly, on my boots, I'm using Wither with faster casting, multiple totems, and spell totems. For the Pantheon, I'm using Soul of the Brine King for the 2-second stun immunity, and Soul of Garokan for more chance to evade attacks. For the Ascendancy, I'm using Assassin, and I'm using Noxious Strike and Toxic Delivery, which basically gives you lots of poison damage, and this Opportunistic, which gives you increased movement speed and 20% more damage while there's a rare and unique enemy nearby. And lastly, this Mistwalker, which gives you a chance to gain Elusive on Crit Strike, and it will give you increased attack speed, reduced damage taken, and 25% increased Elusive effect, which while elusive, you will get 25% chance to dodge spell and attack hits, and 40% more movement speed. For the skill tree, just grab those chaos damage nodes, this bow nodes here, and poison nodes here, and this acrobatics and face acrobatics, which gives you 30% chance to dodge attack and spell hits, this bow nodes here, and this poison node here, and this crit nodes, and lastly is this life and mana leech, so you don't have to worry about your mana. And yeah, I think that's all I can say about this build. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Magkita na lang tayo sa susunod na video.